something that cannot be taken away. This is unshakable. Most of us have known people like this in our lives that go through really hard times, but they still have joy. And there's somebody, as soon as we started this series, that several of us kept saying, we really want to talk to. We really want to see what is it about this person. We know that he's seen adversity, but he has incredible joy. So would you welcome with me Sam Crowley? Sam, would you come up? I want you to come on up here for a minute. We're just going to have a seat here and have a conversation. Sam and I are both from a small little town in northern Pennsylvania. We didn't know that when we first met, and it's kind of a cool story, but God connected us at MCC and had a chance to baptize Sam and see Sam come out of a really difficult and dark situation with his financial situation, and just watched you through each time. There is something inside Sam that is this fight for joy. And he shares it with other people and encourages people all over the world now with his work that he does, and encourages them in employment. He has a podcast called Every Day is Saturday. You might want to see, we posted some links on Facebook to that. He has about 50,000 downloads a month on there, so people are listening to what Sam is saying. That's pretty awesome. And now is starting a spiritual podcast, and we did one on Friday together, talking about some really difficult questions. I encourage you to check it out. Sam, what is it that you could tell us? Have you had a perfect life?
Not even a perfect day today, you know. But that's the part of it, you know. I think the part that gets everybody is we want to try to live for other people's expectations. Number one, you know, our own crazy, unrealistic expectations. Number two, 7 years ago next month I quit my job. You know, I was a corporate executive here in Cincinnati, and I just hated my job. Made me miserable. I didn't like commuting in traffic in the morning. Didn't like being away from the family during the day. So I just cut it out. You know, and so, you know, to have joy, you have complete control, I believe. You can't control some things, and we talked about death and dying and things like that on our podcast, but you can control more than you think, and you can certainly control joy in your life. And if you stop doing things that make you miserable, you'd be surprised on how joyful you become, you know.
Isn't that something? If we stop doing the things that make us miserable, we have joy. There's a quote for your
not only stop doing it, but stop telling everybody else about it.
There you go.
You know, I mean, if you want to attract some abundance into your life, stop being a victim. I don't know any successful victims, but there's a lot of people, especially social media, they'll post on Facebook and Twitter, pray for me, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and that's awesome. But if you want to attract success and abundance into your life and have the best life ever, being a victim every day just ain't going to cut it. And I don't know if I'm getting off the rail on this, because you might want to reel me in a little bit.
No, what I love about this is Sam takes everything from a very, very real place, and he is searching to help other people bridge the gap. He has a Catholic background, and it's always been my heart to help connect the dots for those that have had an upbringing in a different kind of religion or understanding of God, and bring them together into relationship. And so Sam's doing that in such a real and genuine way, and I love that about him. So today, there's no real off the track, except I really want to focus on the joy. You know, though you quit your job, it brought you joy and maybe a peace. And even this morning I spoke with someone who's not in their job anymore, and there's a peace about it, but it wasn't great. I mean, things went bad.
They went real bad real fast. The first time I quit my job in 2005, I went bankrupt. I lost $300,000, my life savings, in a little less than just a few months. And I had an ego the size of Loveland. So for me to be there was really humbling. So I did what everybody does. I found God, right? Isn't that what we do when we're just, nobody else believes in us, nobody else wants us around? I couldn't believe how many people wanted me in their life for what I could do for them, you know? And that was really a wake-up call. Ange and I talk about all the time, our fake friends and our real friends. And my fake friends were the people who wanted me in my life for what I could do. So I went bankrupt, lost everything, had nothing else to turn to, realized that I could have a personal relationship with God. Growing up Catholic, we broker deals. I mean, we talk to the priest who talks to God. God talks back to the priest. We get 10 Hail Marys and Our Father. And then we get to go do what we do. Now I realize I can talk to God in the car. I can talk to God in the shower. I can talk to God when I'm at the gym. And I've enjoyed that peace that came with the darkness, because I don't think I would have found this relationship with God had I not gone bankrupt.
Yeah.
And that was really humbling, you know?
You mentioned even yesterday, said, I don't know, I feel like I found God selfishly. I don't know if there's another way, right? Because we all have this need in our lives, and God put that need in our lives, and we come along and we have this introduction to something that brings us peace, and we are all selfish in our own ways, and God is coming to help us and to be with us, and that's what's a powerful part of your story. And through that journey, then everything was perfect, right? After you found God,
everything came up aces, baby. Yeah.
No, I know you went through some trial, and you did some. You're kind of an entrepreneur of lots of things. So in that, you are searching for peace. And how has God recentered your life and your joy on a daily basis?
Well, you know, my wife Angela has a lot to do with this as well, because she was the spiritual one of our marriage. Complete opposite of me. Introvert. This thing right here, she would melt if you put a microphone in front of my wife, because she's an introvert, but she's perfect for me because she had God in her life all the time. And she was another person that just watching her, because you can tell me all day as a Christian what I should do, but I can't hear at all what you're saying because I'm just watching you. You know what I mean? So I want to see people that are happy, and I want to know why they're happy. And my wife's happy, and I found other Christians that were happy just because they had a relationship with God. And at the end of each day, I just put all my troubles. I've only got 24 hours in the day, just like you. I don't have any magic wand I wave that my day goes amazingly well. All my problems go into a little glass box at the end of the day, and I just, metaphorically, I just smash it with a sledgehammer, and they're done. And the next day I can wake up and I can have joy. I mean, joy is permanent. Happiness is temporary. You can go to dinner and be happy,
right,
and then commit suicide that same night. The Bengals winning makes everybody happy on Sunday, but going to their job Monday makes them miserable. Yeah. If you want unshakable joy, you need to start right now, today, and say, I'm going to do a little bit more today towards ultimately what I want to do to be happy, having a relationship with God spiritually, being healthy, exercising, doing all those things. It only takes 30 minutes or so, an hour a day. And then helping a lot of people get through their issues. That's what gives me the greatest joy, is just motivating people. You know, when I wanted to be a speaker, when I quit my job, I'm like, who wants to listen to a bankrupt, ex-stuttering college dropout? Right?
Right.
That's
from
like
Bradford.
From Bradford, Pennsylvania. It's like, you know, it's like Google motivational speaker. You find Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, all those guys. But, you know, when you get away from all the judgment of what you think you need to be in life, and you just say, I'm just going to go help one person. So you and I, in a former life, I was helping out at the church, parking cars, singing in the choir. I'm the worst singer, you know. Yeah, you've told me all the time. No, I'm kidding about that. But I used to sing and all this stuff. I was horrible. But it gave me joy to help other people and just get involved with other people and say, you know what, life ain't that bad. I don't have 30 days to live. I don't have any tragedies going on today in my life. I woke up on the right side of the ground, and life is pretty good. And I think that's the unshakable joy, is just have a perspective that you can start today, right now, this minute, and have an amazing day that doesn't involve money, a Lexus, a Mercedes, or a $400,000 house.
No, and that is so awesome. Isn't that good this morning? One other thing, I know that part of your business and your life is definitely this love and passion for God, but you also know the blessing of Angela and these three beautiful girls.
Yep.
So that part of your life, as we close this little section here, how does that bring you joy?
Well, the fact that I've been allowed to have children, you know, because some people can't. I'm still married. Our 16th wedding anniversary was Friday. And I come from a divorce. I just met my dad for the first time 2 years ago. He left when I was 3 months old, my mom to raise 8 kids by herself. I think we all just got to get a little bit of perspective about how great your family and if you have no immediate family, then this is your family.
Right.
You're only a phone call away from somebody like yourself or Matt or anybody else at Branches. Say, hey, can we grab a cup of coffee? I want to work through some issues because I want to get through the valley. I don't want to stay in the valley. I want to pass through the valley. Can you help me? And my wife helps me every day with that. My kids, I always look at like, wow, I created this with the help of Angela. We have a beautiful family. How can I possibly take that for granted and have a bad day?
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, Sam.